Hey, what's going on, gluten-free Bitcoiners? I am Patrick, your Bitcoin motorist, and today I want to talk about Peter Schiff and how he doesn't understand how gold gets its value, where the value of gold comes from. And Peter Schiff is also a Keynesian. I don't think Peter Schiff knows that he's a Keynesian, but he is a Keynesian. I'm going to expose him as a Keynesian. Peter Schiff would probably say that he's an Austrian economist, but the way that he understands the value of gold makes me think that he's actually a Keynesian, not an Austrian, when it comes to economics. So there was a debate between Erik Voorhees and Peter Schiff. And Reason TV has this entire debate. The whole video is about an hour and 22 minutes long on their YouTube channel. And I think Peter Schiff also posted the same debate on his YouTube channel. So I'm gonna link to the Reason TV debate in the description below, and I'm gonna timestamp it to when a certain question is asked of Peter Schiff during this debate. Now, before I get into that question, let me just say that Erik Voorhees is probably the wrong person to be debating Peter Schiff, because Erik Voorhees is too much of a shitcoiner to be able to make the case to Peter that Bitcoin has value as money, because Erik Voorhees believes in these shitcoins. So when Peter Schiff says, "Oh, well, how do you know Bitcoin is going to be the be all and end all? How do you know that one of these other altcoins or shitcoins can't overtake Bitcoin?" Erik really doesn't have a good answer for that, because Erik probably agrees with Peter on that. So I think that if Peter Schiff wants to debate a Bitcoiner, he needs to debate somebody like Tone Vase or Saifedean Ammous, or somebody like Jimmy Song, somebody who really understands Bitcoin and is a Bitcoin standard bearer, or the other term, the term that we don't use, what it is, it rhymes with motorist. But anyway, so this question is asked, and I'll timestamp it. It's at 47 minutes and 49 seconds in the debate. A question is asked of Peter Schiff, which is that something along the lines of most of gold's value is derived from its value as a monetary asset. Only a small percentage of its value is its use as jewelry and industrial use, which I agree with. So the question to Peter is, doesn't that mean that most of gold's value is derived from the same thing that gives Bitcoin its value? And Peter completely disagrees with that. Peter says no. Peter says that no, gold's value comes from its use as jewelry and its industrial use. And the reason why he says that is because it's not being circulated as money. See, that was his big proof. Well, see, gold is not being used as money. It's not being circulated as money. Therefore, it doesn't have monetary value. So this is why I think Peter Schiff is a Keynesian, and Peter Schiff doesn't understand why gold is valuable. So Peter thinks that velocity of money is more important, that money moving around is good for the economy, and was what gives money its value. This is probably what Erik Voorhees thinks too, because he's a shitcoiner, and a lot of shitcoiners think like this. They're all Keynesians. They just don't know that they're Keynesians. Well, at least they're not Marxist. I guess I can give them that praise. But yeah, so he says, well, it's not being circulated as money. Therefore, it's getting its value for jewelry and for industrial uses, which is complete bunk. The reason why gold is valuable is because people use it, and it has been used for centuries as a store of value. Not because it's being circulated as money. It's because it's a store of value, and it has been for a long time. That's where gold gets most of its value from. Now, Peter says, as part of his answer, well, if it was money, it would be worth $10,000 an ounce, not $1,000 or whatever it is, $1,000 an ounce. And of course he's shifting it. He's changing. He's answering the question he wants to answer rather than the question that's asked of him. So I think that that Peter Schiff doesn't really understand. He's a gold dealer, and but he doesn't understand why gold is valuable, and why gold has its value. Um, so so yeah, take that for what it is. Now there was this other off Whitney. Sorry, my dog was just jumped up on the ottoman. Um, but So there's this other thing that kind of reminded me, this answer that Peter Schiff gave. There's a story that came out. Now, let me preface this by saying this story could be complete bullshit. I don't believe anything I read in the media. Okay, I always read, and same thing with what everybody should do. Read everything with a critical mind, with a skeptical mind. So for all I know, this entire story might be bullshit. This might all be fake news. But still, it was a story in BusinessInsider.com website, and I'll read you the headline of the story, and I'm going to link the story into the description. So if you want to read the story for yourself, look more into it, feel free to do so. But the Business Insider, I think this is dated sometime in December, I don't know the exact date. But anyway, the link will be down there. It's from last month. So the headline is, Chinese scientists have turned copper into a material that's almost identical to gold. Okay, now I kind of, actually December 26th, sorry. December 26th of 2018 is when the story came out. So I've read through this this story, kind of skimmed through it a little bit, but basically it is kind of what they're saying. They're not saying that they're able to turn copper into gold. They're not saying that you can make copper into like gold jewelry. What they are saying is that some of the industrial qualities of gold, some of the industrial industrial attributes of gold that make it useful as an industrial metal. What they can do is they can take this copper, they can blast it with I think it was with electrons, and kind of get some of the same properties that they can get with gold. So they can use this copper instead of the gold in the industrial uses. So again, this story might be complete bullshit, it might be completely fake news, but I think that whether this is true or not, it will have no effect on the value of gold. If you can use copper where previously gold was used in certain industrial places, in certain as an industrial element in certain places for electronics or for whatever, it's not going to make gold less valuable. Because we can't use it for this one purpose anymore because now we're going to use copper for it. And so this is the point that I don't think Peter Schiff understands. Okay, gold doesn't have the value it has because it's being used in electronics, because it's being used in jewelry. Gold has the value that it has is because historically it's been a good store of value, and the reason why it's a good store of value is because of its stock-to-flow ratio. Stock-to-flow ratio was a term that I came across in a book by Saifedean Ammous called The Bitcoin Standard. I'm going to link to Saifedean's Twitter below, and I'm also going to link to his book. So if you want to order his book from Amazon, use my link, and you can support the show this way using my affiliate link to order his book. I have read the book. Well, I've listened to the book, and I'm going to probably read the book in actual book format at some point. But definitely, it's a great book to read. It kind of explains a lot of concepts about money and where money gets its value from, and the difference between Keynesian economics and monetarist economics and Austrian economics. It's a really good book, and there's only the last few chapters talk about Bitcoin, so I do highly recommend that book because you have to kind of understand money first before you can understand why Bitcoin has value. So this is where Peter Schiff's major flaw is that he thinks gold is useful as a store of value because it's useful in industry, and that's not correct. It's because there's large amounts of gold in the world, and there's a very small percentage of new gold that is mined in the world compared to the amount of gold that's already in existence. Its stock-to-flow ratio is one of the big reasons why gold has so much more value than, say, silver or copper. There aren't vast amounts of copper sitting in vaults places around the world. Because copper that is mined is kind of used. It's mined and then it's used. So there isn't a high stock-to-flow ratio. It's a very low stock-to-flow ratio. So that's why copper is not a good store of value. And you can say the same thing with silver as well. I'm going to do another video specifically on silver to explain why silver is not a good store of value, especially compared to gold or Bitcoin. But I'm gonna save that for another topic because I think that one deserves a full video. But anyway, that's all I have. So again, the reason why gold is valuable as a store of value is the reason why Bitcoin is valuable or can be valuable as a store of value. It's because of its stock to flow ratio. It's because people are hoarding it. It's because people like to save in it or store their wealth in it. It's not because it's being used in industry. That's kind of something that I don't think Peter Schiff understands. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Peter Schiff is correct and gold is valuable because it's used in jewelry, or do you think that it has more to do with the stock to flow ratio and its scarcity? So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like or dislike this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more content like this. And follow me on Twitter. I'm at Bitcoin Motorist on Twitter. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please click on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to keep seeing these videos, because at some point I'm going to stop posting them on Facebook. So if you want to click on over to YouTube. And there's one more thing I wanted to say. I am going to be traveling in the next, actually starting on Friday. So I'm going to be in LA, and then I'm going to be in Vegas for Tone Vays' Unconfiscatable concert. So if you want to meet me in person and meet Tone Vays and other great people like Seyfuddin Amous and Jimmy Song and Max Kaiser and people like that, please come to the Unconfiscatable conference in Vegas. It's on January 24th to the 26th is when the conference is going to be there in Vegas, and I will leave a link to Tone Vays' conference below as well. So with that, have an awesome night, guys. Thank you.